The following program contains material that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center Marin, it's marINSANITY.
You're so kind. Very excited that you're not tired of me yet. I'm Jean Yee. You may remember me from about 9 minutes ago. But I have more comedy for you. Oh, you get to learn more about me. Oh.
She's the English patient, right?
Microphone. Settle down, everyone. I am the teacher. I only spoke Mandarin until I got to kindergarten. I know. Oh my God, my English is so good. When I turned 5, my parents were like, white people cannot handle your Chinese name, shiznit. So they decided to give me an English name, Jane. First day of school, Dad spells Jane wrong. 30 years later, still Jean. You are the nicest crowd I've had in such a long time. Usually still Jean gets a laugh, but instead I have, oh. I like both. Talk to me after the show. I'll be next to the red wine. So I'm named Jean. It's okay if my name is messed up for my entire life. I don't mind. But what if I had to go to the hospital and my dad had to fill out a form for me? I'm really allergic to penicillin. My throat swells up, I can't breathe. More importantly, I can't eat. Chocolate. Men. Like, what if my dad had to write allergic to penicillin? I'd get to the operating room, the doctor would be like, wait, clear the room of pencils. Let's get Jen on the operating table. Use the short table. She's 2'5". And can you tell her she should have been a doctor like you? Yay, more pity. No. So I'm perfecting the sheltered Asian look. I just think when people look at me, they really see the beauty of the wall behind me. Of the faux brick wall behind me. I have found out recently I'm really allergic to mangoes. Yeah. Make some noise if you're allergic to mangoes. Yes. Oh, you are? Oh, it's terrible. Exactly. So the thing with mangoes is that for me, it's like the sexy bad boy that you shouldn't date. Like delicious, but you might get a rash. So, thank you, one person, like Samson would say. So you're right, that it's the skin. There's a chemical on the peel that people are allergic to. So I Googled how to avoid it. Ended up on a tree humping website. It was Gwyneth Paltrow's website. And the website said, just get someone else to peel it for you. I'm single and alone. I have no mango peeler. Like, the website's like, well, why don't you find one? I've tried Match.com, Tinder for a one-night stay-and-go peeler. So, like I mentioned before, I just moved back from Hong Kong. Had to fill out a government form there. And under marital status, I could be married, divorced, or a spinster. I was like, what? No checkbox for sassy single 30-something? Still waiting for her knight in rusted armor? Yeah. So all my friends are having babies. Boo, boo for babies. If I wanted something pink and wrinkled, it wouldn't be a newborn. All right. Oh my goodness. That does not bode well for the rest of this show. Are you? That is my time. Are you ready for your next comedian? Yeah. You're like, yes, please. More pity, more pity. Your next comedian has performed at the Punchline, Cobb's, and the San Leandro Performing Arts Center. She was selected for Kevin Hart's Comedy Central audition and was a finalist at Rooster T. Feather's annual comedy competition. Let's hear it for Nicole Tran.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Cha ơi, hãy chậm lại đường gươm cho con được nhìn mặt cha lần sau cuối rồi lát nữa đây con sẽ. Please feel free to sing along if you know the words. I'm from Vietnam. Please excuse me the way I speak. There are some letters in the English language that I cannot pronounce. I could tell you which one they are, but I cannot pronounce them. Sometimes people cannot understand my name over the phone. My name is Tran. Wait a minute. Spell it for me, please. Sure. T like Tawasaki. R like Roshiko. A like Elasima. And N like Nancy. When I arrived in the Bay Area, I studied Aikido, Judo, and in San Francisco, sourdough. Sometimes language barriers can be to my advantage. The other day, my boss says she likes hair that's curly. I thought she says I could go home early. My car is a Hyundai accent. When people hear me speak, they ask me, "Hey, where's your accent from?" I say, "A used car lot in Fremont." Last week, an American guy asked me, "Are you nuts?" I say, "Why? Are you allergic?" I remember my first swimming lesson. My father threw me into the Mekong River. I ended up in the Philippines. When I was a kid, we played ding dong ditch. We did not have doorbell, so we just ditched our friend ding dong. My mother does everything in one big pan. Chicken, noodle, vegetable, the laundry. My cousin Bing Bing snores. She snores like this. Bing 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 bing. Bing 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 bing. It can be annoying and scary, especially when she's driving. Back in my country, Bing Bing was the life of the party. Yeah, the Communist Party. Now Bing Bing got a job at the candy store. She heard there a lot of sugar daddy there. I like to visit Chinatown. Chinese people are very organized. They always have all their ducks in a row. I like Halloween night. Last year I dressed like Kim Kardashian. I crammed 2 watermelons down the back of my pants. Then I put 2 cantaloupes in the front. Then I got arrested for shoplifting. Last September, we had picnic at the beach. The seagulls were annoying, but so tasty. Some women I know shop at Forever 21. I cannot fit into anything of that store. I'm waiting for them to come out with almost 42. Dress made with polyester make me not only curvy, but flammable. I could not get along with my first therapist. It got so bad, I had to start seeing a second therapist just to talk about the first therapist. I went to a Shopaholic Anonymous meeting. It's not because I have a problem. I want to find out where the good sales are. I like guys with blue eyes, but they have to have two of them. The last guy I dated worked at the racetrack cleaning up after horses. I always look for a man with a stable job. This is a hip crowd. I like it. I'm stylish, man. I wear Easter hat in the spring, sundress in the summer, and I never dated a white guy after Labor Day. Now I want to meet a man with a Tesla car. So every Friday night, I put on a tight dress and hang out at the electric charging station. I met a blue-eyed Frenchman. He was perfect. His face, perfect. His hair, perfect. His wife, well, nobody is perfect. In Vietnam, they say, behind every successful man stands a woman with a voice like this. Trời đất quỷ thần ơi, sáng giờ tao kêu mày đi làm kiếm tiền nuôi tao mà mày làm biếng quá. Mày lo mày ăn, mày nằm, mày ngủ, mày nhậu. Tao ly dị mày cho coi. Oh man, when you listen to that, you spend as much time at work as possible. I love music from the 1980s, even to this day. I still answer the phone like this. Hello, is it me you looking for? He says, no. Where's your cousin Bing Bing? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Keep it going for Nicole Tran. How many more bird-eating jokes can you hear from Asians tonight? Who knows? Up next is a funny lady who has appeared at the Purple Onion in San Francisco, All Out Comedy Theater in Oakland, and San Rafael's own Throckmorton Theater. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Griffin.
I just rushed over from the senior center. The seniors and the comics all walk around asking the same question. How much time do I have? I'm known as the cheap grandma. The other grandma buys our grandson amazing expensive presents. She got him a Lego castle the size of a city block. She bought him tickets to a UCLA basketball game in Maui. I bought the kid a shirt. It was $24, marked down 40%. Now it's $14.99. So I take the shirt over to the register and the young man says, "Lady, if you open a charge account today, the store will give you $15. Oh, now it's $14.99. They're going to give me $15. Do we have a mathematician in the room? It's a profit. But wait, what if my grandson returns the shirt? I want the penny. Now, the latest thing the other grandma did was she paid for the bar mitzvah in Tel Aviv. I gave him a rosary. What, that's not kosher? I don't know. Now, what were we talking about? Oh, my sweetie, of course. I married a Marine. I married him for his body. I found out later he could read. But the Marine Corps sent him off to war. Now they're gone a long time. Celibacy is not what I had in mind. Well, how long does it take to stop communism? Ask Cousin Bing Bing. I don't know. Now, a long time ago, he comes back, a very light sleeper. Well, I feel terribly safe sleeping next to a trained killer who wakes up easily. So one night, I'm sound asleep, when suddenly he leaps out of bed. He pulls on his pants. He runs out, chases somebody over the back fence. And he comes back in, and his heart's pounding, his eyes are wide, and he said, "We had a peeping Tom." Oh. He wasn't looking at you. Why not? Now, a lot of stuff happened between then and now. And today, we are the proud parents of some old people who knew they'd live. Well, they've left, finally. And it's just the two of us. Very romantic, isn't it? And we're planning lots of trips. Trips to the cardiologist, to the ophthalmologist, and for our bones, we'll visit the paleontologist. Kaiser is our travel agent. Where else can you get a room for an hour? With a little bed with stirrups. Oh dear. Well, my sweetie, he fell on his head, poor dear. He fell on his head. And since that day, our home has been a revolving door of caregivers from all over the world. Now, my sweetie will tell, they're all men too, but my sweetie will tell you that he doesn't need a caregiver. But I do. And my goodness, he will tell you that he is being held under house arrest while I am enjoying my empire of erotic, exotic staff. Hercules was my favorite. A beautiful Kenyan man. Oh, that was nice. And then there was Francis from Fiji. He was a rugby player. So we played on the rug. And there was Saul. Saul was very tall, and he was hyperactive and connected. He was young, very young. He thought of me as his grandma. Now that's sick. But he had things on his head, listening to music all the time, bouncing around, happy young man, hyperactive, right? But one little problem, he wore his pants so low. Was that a style? But anyway, it was low. But when you are the Maytag repairman and leaning over into the washing machine, we're talking butt cheeks. But when you are 6'8" and you lean over a bed, what do you think? It's cleavage. And it's moving to the music. So, well, there was that. Now, my sweetie, he will tell you that he was being held under house arrest. And he really objected to the 90-minute sponge baths. But I like to be clean. Oh, well. Now, anyway, my sweet, sweet man, he will tell you that I had something. Oh, yes. What were we talking about? I want to give you some advice, especially for the gentlemen. Be nice to her, 'cause someday she's going to be in charge. I control the money. I control the pills. One for you, one for me. 1 for 2 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me. But best of all, after 50 years of marriage, here we go. After 50 years of marriage, I control the TV remote. Thank you.
Keep it going for Pat Griffin, everyone. You've been a lovely, lovely audience tonight, and we have one more lovely, lovely comedian for you. Are you ready for your final comedian? Our final comedian hosts the Guffaws for a Cause showcase in San Francisco, has performed throughout the Bay, in New York, LA, and as far away as the Mississippi Delta. Please give a nice welcome to Lael Gold.
Thank you. Hello, beautiful Marin crowd. And my one Facebook friend who's here, who's soon to unfriend me, soon to leave Facebook altogether over this very set. I'm here from Berkeley. Has the yoga off happened yet between Berkeley and Marin? No. The rich white liberals get to see who can bend over backwards the best. What can I say? No, but I live in Berkeley. Therefore, like you, I am extremely self-actualized. It basically goes without saying. I mean, I've basically done everything on my bucket list except euthanasia. Specifically, I want to use autoerotic asphyxiation for that. I want to come and go at the same time. By the way, I'm counting on the fact that you guys had some sex during the summer of love and afterwards, so you're not going to be freaked. Did anybody here have sexual intercourse during the summer of love? I would hope so. Okay, good. Well, this whole set is to you, former hippies. No, there are no former hippies. I was actually born during the summer of love, but we won't dwell on that. What else can I tell you? Every NPR listener in here, and in this case, I'm going to go with that's 98% of you, particularly the young lady in the End the Darfur Genocide t-shirt that she decided to wear to a comedy show. She's like, I'm going to get everybody in the mood to laugh with this garment. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Every NPR listener in here knows exactly what a fecal transplant is. NPR is obsessed with fecal transplants. They are. But for all of you Live 105 listeners, and again, I don't even think there's a single one in here, but whatever. You guys are basically the flip of audiences I usually perform for. Anyway, allow me to explain. A fecal transplant is when they take somebody else's shit and they shove it up inside your ass. It's a medical procedure. It cures many horrible diseases, IBS, Crohn's, colitis. Interestingly, the same diseases that most NPR listeners suffer from. But they've even recently discovered how to administer that in pill form. And I think it's wonderful that they are alleviating suffering and saving lives. But what am I supposed to say to my enemies now? Eat shit and live? That doesn't work for me. You guys, none of them are among us, but there was, I think, one who performed tonight. But let's just be generous and give it up for millennials. Let's give millennials a hand. Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, for one, they're the only age-appropriate readers of the Harry Potter series. So the rest of us should be ashamed of ourselves, really. And millennials are darling doing comedy. I'm around them a lot. But they kind of think they invented everything. Like, I would say about 60% of the millennials I know think they are startling me when they tell me that they're gender fluid or gender queer. Hello, that is nothing new. I have been rocking a man bun since 1978. Not only that, I'm actually a woman in a man's body. In a woman's body. I'm not just gender bending, I complete one entire rotation of the gender spiral. I do. Your mild yet nervous laughter tells me that your grandchildren are on you to always use the correct pronoun, which is important. I'm not saying it's not, but anyway. What else can I say? You might be a little surprised based on what I've shared with you so far to learn that one of my best friends in Berkeley is an Episcopal priest. In fact, I help her with her sermons. I am her Holy Ghost writer. But there are a few things that I know about religion most people don't. For instance, Moses, a great leader of his people, but a horrible BDSM partner. He led them out of sore bondage. That's no fun. Everybody's like, what the hell is BDSM? How can you live so close to San Francisco? The leather, the buckles, the whips, never mind. It's not a real thing. I'm just making stuff up. You can all sleep well tonight because what I'm referring to doesn't even exist. No worries about that. It's a myth that I just invented. No, but another thing I know about religion most people don't, the 10 Commandments, those were not meant generally, all of them. At least one of them was meant only for Moses. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. And that's because Moses' neighbor, Cheryl Berkowitz, very emotionally unstable. But God was being even more specific than that. He was pointing in just one direction. And that's because Jill Goldstein on the other side, amazing in the sack. Her husband was gay. They had an understanding. As God said to Moses, she was definitely DTBC, down to be coveted. You guys, I can't, okay. I can't tell if I'm out of time or not. I guess I am. Well, you guys have been darling and delightful. Next time I come, we'll get into some dirty jokes. I've kept this set extremely clean for all of you. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for Lael and for all of your comedians tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. You've been a fantastic audience. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. Thank you for coming to MarinSanity. Have a lovely day.